So after that disappointing Champions League round of 16 first leg for the Premier League clubs, they are back in the Premier League battle for teams who are fighting to win the league and teams who are also fighting to qualify for next year Champions League. Let's start with the first game on Saturday between Arsenal and Everton. Very, very tight feature for both clubs, right? Let's start with their away. For their away, Everton, they are in 8th position with 43 points. Obviously, they are looking to qualify for the European competition coming next season, right? And Arsenal, who has 67 points in the first position, they are looking at Manchester City closing the gap on them. So if you look at it on this angle, it is a total big battle at the Emirates, right? But I see Arsenal winning this game. Chelsea versus Newcastle. Very, very big game as well on that Saturday, right? Chelsea at home, Newcastle away. These two teams are playing in the Champions League in 3 days' time, right? Newcastle were able to draw Barcelona in England, but they are traveling all the way to Spain, to Nou Camp, right? But Chelsea, this Newcastle game is as important as that game against PSG. If I would advise Chelsea and Liam Rosino, they should take this game very, very important, more than the game against PSG. It's not about that the game is against PSG is not important, but winning Newcastle game is important more than that PSG game they have already messed up in France. It will only take miracle for them to do a comeback in that Champions League game. So Liam Rosino and his boys should forget everything about that PSG Champions League game return leg for now and focus on playing Newcastle. After Newcastle, they should start thinking about PSG game, right? Then West Ham versus Manchester City. Interesting big game for Manchester City. After that surprising 3-0 loss to Real Madrid, I see Pep Guardiola and his boys going for revenge for that second leg of that Champions League. So obviously this game against West Ham, though it's an important game for Manchester City and his boys, because they want to close the gap on Arsenal, right? If you know Pep Guardiola, one thing, you know, they ever leave the fool. So he will put all the whole fight to win West Ham and then prepare for Real Madrid for that return leg in the Champions League. But I don't see it as an easy future for them, being that West Ham are fighting for relegation, 18th in the Premier League table, right, with 28 points. Then on Sunday, Manchester United versus Aston Villa, two teams that are fighting to remain in the top 4 position. Man U in 3rd position and Aston Villa in the 4th position with 51 points each. It's a very, very big game, one of the biggest games in the Premier League this week, right? But I see this game ending in a draw. Then Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur, both teams who have a very big game in the return leg in 3 days' time in the Champions League, right? Tottenham lost 6-2 to Atletico Madrid, while Liverpool lost 1-0 to Galatasaray. So their Champions League game is very, very important, as well as this game. Tottenham losing this game could see them in relegation position. Meanwhile, Liverpool winning this game, 3 points will see them level in the Premier League position with 3rd place and the 4th place Aston Villa and Manchester United, who are in 51 points respectively. So this is a very important game for both sides. But I see Liverpool winning this game against Tottenham because obviously looking at Tottenham this day, they look miserable. Surprising extra game for you people this week: Brentford versus Wolves. That game is as interesting as these big games I have mentioned to you. Because of who? Because of Wolves. Because lately, Wolves is trying to make a very big history in the Premier League, right? But if they win all their games in the Premier League, they are surely to secure a Premier League season 2026-2027. So it's a game to watch out.